The year was 1701, a time when the Tokugawa shogunate ruled Japan with an iron fist. Inside Edo Castle, the heart of the Tokugawa shogunate, a violent act shattered the peace and tranquility that had long been maintained. Asano Naganori, a young and impetuous feudal lord, drew his sword and attacked Kira Yoshinaka, a high-ranking court official, in a moment of uncontrollable rage. The attack, fueled by a long-simmering feud and deep-seated resentment, sent shockwaves through the rigid social hierarchy of Japan, disrupting the delicate balance of power. Asano's blade found its mark, wounding Kira but not killing him, leaving the court in utter chaos and disbelief. This act of aggression, especially within the sacred confines of the shogun's court, was an affront to order and authority, a breach of the strict codes that governed samurai behavior. It set in motion a chain of events with far-reaching consequences, altering the course of history in ways that no one could have foreseen. The reasons behind Asano's attack were complex and deeply personal. Kira, known for his arrogance and greed, had repeatedly insulted and provoked Asano, pushing him to the brink of his patience. Asano, bound by the samurai code of honor, felt compelled to respond to these slights, believing that his honor and reputation were at stake. However, his actions were rash and impulsive, driven by a moment of intense emotion rather than careful consideration. He had allowed his emotions to override his better judgment, a grave mistake for any samurai. The consequences of his actions were swift and severe, as the shogunate could not tolerate such a blatant breach of protocol. The shogun, Tokugawa Tsunayoshi, considered Asano's behavior a grave offense. He demanded immediate punishment, setting an example for all who might dare to defy the established order. To understand the gravity of Asano's transgression, we must delve into the historical context of the Tokugawa period, a time marked by significant transformation and strict governance. The Tokugawa shogunate, established in 1603, had ushered in an era of unprecedented peace and stability in Japan, following a long period of turmoil and conflict. After centuries of civil war, the country was desperate for order and unity, yearning for a sense of normalcy and security. The Tokugawa shoguns, with their strict laws and rigid social hierarchy, provided just that, creating a structured society where everyone knew their place. The samurai, once warriors who lived by the sword, found themselves in a new reality, adapting to a life that no longer revolved around constant warfare. Their role had shifted from battlefield commanders to administrators and bureaucrats, managing the day-to-day affairs of the shogunate. The Tokugawa era emphasized social order and obedience to authority, ensuring that the peace was maintained at all costs. The samurai code of Bushido, with its emphasis on honor, loyalty, and self-sacrifice, was still revered, guiding their conduct and actions. However, it had to coexist with the new laws of the land, which often imposed restrictions that were difficult for the samurai to accept. These laws often clashed with the samurai's traditional values, creating a tension between their historical identity and their new roles. The Tokugawa government sought to control the samurai class, restricting their movements and curtailing their power, ensuring that no one could challenge the shogunate's authority. This led to simmering resentment among some samurai who yearned for the glory days of old, feeling constrained and undervalued in their new roles. Asano's attack on Kira, though seemingly a personal matter, represented a serious challenge to the Tokugawa order. This act of aggression was not just a simple feud, but a direct affront to the established hierarchy and the shogunate's authority. The shogunate, determined to maintain its authority and uphold the strict codes of conduct, acted decisively and without hesitation. Asano was sentenced to commit seppuku, ritual suicide by disembowelment, a punishment reserved for samurai to die with honor. This gruesome act was considered an honorable death for a samurai, allowing him to atone for his crimes and preserve his family's reputation. It was a way to maintain dignity even in the face of death. Asano's lands and properties were confiscated and his family was left in disgrace, stripped of their status and wealth. His samurai retainers, now masterless, became Ronin, wandering warriors without a lord to serve. The Ronin, once loyal samurai bound to their lord, were now adrift in a society that shunned them. They faced a future filled with uncertainty and dishonor. They were considered dangerous and unpredictable, a threat to the social order and stability of the community. The Ronin's plight highlights the complex relationship between the samurai code and the laws of the land. Their loyalty to their fallen lord clashed with the rigid legal system of the shogunate. While Asano's actions were deemed criminal by the shogunate, his samurai saw him as a victim of Kira's insults and the shogun's harsh justice. They believed his honor had been unjustly tarnished. This conflict between loyalty, honor, and the law would drive the Ronin down a path of revenge. Their determination to avenge their lord's death would become a legendary tale of loyalty and retribution.